6 1 by 5 of 194.75 plus 2 1 by 8 of 2431.67 equals to what percentage of 732.85? Okay. Fortunately or unfortunately, options have not been given here. If options were given, we could have used a smarter method than what we will be doing now. But since options are not given, we'll have to do a complete calculation, right? However, we'll do a little bit of approximation, assuming that options will be given in such a way that some question is there for some question is there for doing an approximation there. Okay, so let me rewrite this. 6 1 by 5 of 194.75 plus 2 1 by 8 of 2431.67 is what percent of 732.85? Okay, now I think first and foremost simplify this mixed fractions into simple ones, right? 6 1 by 5 is what? 6 5 30, 31 by 5, 31 by 5 into, I would approximate 194.75 as 195, approximately 195. Yes or no? Hardly a difference, right? 0.25 is the difference. Okay, plus 2 1 by 8 is 17 by 8 of his multiplication, like you all know, multiplied by 2431.67. I would take it as 2432. Again, 2431.67 and 2432, what's the difference? 0.33. 0.33 on 2400 is hardly a difference there. Okay, is equal to what percent of, let's say 732.85 is 733. 733, right? 733. Simplify this now. 5 goes how many times? I think 39 times. 5 into 40 is 200. So this is 39 times. 8 goes how many times? 8 goes 300 times plus 4 times. 304 times. Done. Now 31 into 30. How you multiply 31 with 39 and how you multiply 17 with 304 is what matters here. If you do it on paper, then you are not following the best of techniques, right? 31 into 39 in my view will be 900 plus 300 plus 9, which is 1209. I'll explain you why what I've done there. And 17 into 304 will be 5100 plus 68, 5168. I'll continue with this. Is what percent of 733. Now let me tell you what I've done here. 31 into 39, right? This is what I was visualizing when I said 900 plus 300 plus 9, right? See, when you have both the numbers to be multiplied in the same range, both the numbers are in 30s, or both the numbers are in 40s or 50s or 60s, this is what you can do. You can see there's one more way of doing it. You can actually take it as 1225 minus 16. This is like 35 minus 4 into 35 plus 4. A plus B into A minus B, right? You should be able to visualize that 31 is 35 minus 4, 39 is 35 plus 4. So it becomes it gets converted in the form of A plus B into A minus B. What should be the result? A squared minus B squared. 35 squared is 1225. You know how to multiply, how to find out a square of a number ending in 5, right? 35 squared is 1225, 4 squared is 16. 1225 minus 16 is 1209. That's one way of doing it. Or otherwise, if you, let's say you don't get this idea, or let's say if the other number is 31 times 38, then what do you do? Then simple. When both the numbers are in the same range, you split it with a common base. Like 31 into 39 is 30 plus 1 and 30 plus 9. What happens here? 30 times 30 is anyway given 900. 1 into 30 and 9 into 30. So 1 should be multiplied by 30. 9 also should be multiplied by 30. So I can actually add 1 and 9, 10 and multiply that with 30. 10 into 30 is 300. And then I know 1 has to be multiplied with 9. It gives you 9. So 900 plus 300 plus 9. This is what I had done in the very beginning itself, right? So 1209 is the result. Let me take up one more such calculation for you to understand this, right? Let's say I have to multiply 42 with 47. Now here split and merge is not possible. Not possible as in it becomes complex, right? It will be like 44.5 minus 2.5, 44.5 plus 2.5, which means 44.5 square minus 2.5 square. Life becomes miserable if you start doing that. So don't apply split and merge in every case. Wherever possible, fine. Now what will I do? 40 plus 2, 40 plus 7. So 40 and 40 is common, which means 1600 will be the first term. Now 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 times 40, 360. Yes or no? 2 should be multiplied with 40. 7 also should be multiplied with 40. So instead, I'll add 2 and 7, 9, multiply that with 40. 9 times 40 is 360. And 2 times 7 is 14. So your result will be what? 1760 plus 14, 1774. Sorry, 1960 plus 14, 1974. You're getting it? Anyway, so 1209 is how, that's how we have arrived at 1209. And the other one was simple. 17 into 304. While it may appear to be complex, it's very easy. 304 is 300 plus 4. 304 is 300 plus 4. So 17 times of 304. So 17 into 3 is 51. So this becomes 5,100. 7 into 4, 68. So 5,100 plus 68. 5,168. Now addition. Addition has to be done on the left hand side. How do you add? Please do not do this. 1, 2, 0, 9, 5, 1, 6, 8, 9, 8, 17, 7, 3, 6. Not fit for the exam if you're doing this. What do you do? 1200 and 5100 is 6300. 9 and 68 is 77. So 6377 is what percentage of 733? Do not go by the length of the explanation. I am doing a detailed explanation here with a lot of other examples for you to make comfortable, right? This is not the amount of time that we need to spend. And these are not the steps that we put on paper. So it's the final stuff. So basically question mark will be what? 6,377 divided by 733. 6,377 divided by 733. Approximately 9 times. Question mark by 100. By 100 basically. Question mark percentage, right? What percentage? So question mark by 100 is approximately 9 times. Because 6,300 by 700 is 900. Sorry, 6,300 by 7 is 9. 700 is 9. I'm neglecting 77 and 33 there. It will be less than 9 actually. Strictly speaking, it will be less than 9. Because 33 multiplied by 9 will be 300. What we have here is only 77. So less than 9. Around 8.8, 8.7, right? Somewhere around that. So question mark should be what? It should be less than 900. Look at the options. I'm sure there will be only one option which is less than 900. If there are multiple options less than 900 and again close to 900, then you may have to do a even more precise calculation. But I think what comes in place of question mark here is approximately somewhere around 880, 870 in my view, right? Less than 900 I would say. Look at the options and then decide. Look at the options and decide. 2.28 into 12.5 minus 6.5 into 2.4 is equal to what? Now the actual question is how to solve quickly using speed math. Can you explain how to multiply two numbers in decimal for simplification? Now look at this. There are a number of ways in which you can do it, right? We have to multiply 2.28 with 12.5 and 6.5 with 2.4 to get the required answer. Now going by the BODMAS rule, you know that first you have to perform the multiplications and then take the difference between these two. Now finding out the difference is easy, but the question is how do we actually simplify this part? How do you multiply 2.28 with 12.5? If this is what you want to do, 228 into 125, 5 8s are 40, 5 2s are 10 and 14, 5 2s are 10 and 1 11, 2 8s are 16, 2 2s are 4 and 1 5, 2 2s are 4, and so on, then you better don't take the exam. I repeat, you are not fit for the exam if this is what you are planning to do, because others will get ahead of you, right? There's a serious competition. You cannot be doing this silly job in the exam. You have to do it smart. You have to do it in a smart way. So what can be done? Now, there are multiple ways of doing it. Let me explain you a few of them. See, don't worry about decimals. I mean, if any one of you is concerned about decimals being there in the multiplication, I think it's a simple way. I'll give you a very simple technique to deal with decimals. You know what's the technique? Forget about decimals. I will say this is 228 into 125. How does it matter? And this is 65 into 24. There's no decimal. Who said there are decimals? There's no decimal. Just remember that this is getting divided by 1000 finally, and this is getting divided by 100. See, 0.5 means what? I can say 125 by 10. This can be taken as 125 by 10. This can be taken as 228 by 100. So 110 multiplied gives 1000. 6.5 is 65 by 10. 2.4 is 24 by 10. So 65 by 10 into 24 by 10 becomes 65 into 24 by 100. So it's simple. What's the best way to multiply numbers involving decimals? Forget about decimals. How does it matter? There are no decimals at all. There are no decimals at all. Right? Now dividing by 1000 is not a complex, it's not a calculation in my view. All you have to do is finally put 3 decimals. Here you have to put 2 decimals. Decimals after 2 digits. Right? Divide by 1000, divide by 100. That's it. So there is no complexity in my view. It's not complex. All you have to do is assume that decimals are not there. Now, having done this, there are multiple ways in which you can take it up. Like for example, 125 by 1000 is 1 by 8. 125 by 1000 is 1 by 8. Yes or no? 125 into 8 is 1000. 125 into 8 is 1000. So it becomes very simple. 228 by 8. Sorry, 228 by 8. 228 into 1 by 8. 228 by 8. You could have got this 1 by 8 otherwise also. If you convert this to percentage, you know that 12.5% is equal to 1 by 8. If you have gone through our percentages video, you know 12.5 is 12.5% is 1 by 8. Yes or no? 12.5% is 1 by 8. Which means 12.5 can be taken as 100 by 8. If you want to, you cannot replace 12.5 with 1 by 8. Remember, 12.5% is 1 by 8. Be very careful. 12.5 is not 1 by 8. 12.5% is 1 by 8. So 12.5 can be taken as 100 by 8. So replace this with 100 by 8. See, multiplication with 100, division by 100, all these are easy things to do, right? So try and convert the question in that form. Remember, the given question will not be easy. You have to make it easy before you proceed with the calculation. Try and simplify it. Try and convert it in a fashion which makes it easier to simplify. So I can say 12.5 is 100 by 8. So what happens? See, if you look at it now, it is 2.28 into 100 by 8. You know that this decimal and 100 gets cancelled. Finally, you will be left with the same thing, 228 by 8. This is another way of looking at it. If you don't want to divide by 1000, you can do it this way also. Eventually, you will get the same thing, 228 by 8. Now divide 228 by 8. You cannot be doing 2 into 114, 2 into 4. Don't do all that drama here, right? 228 by 8 is what? I mean, don't put pen on, don't try and cancel, I am saying. Don't cancel by 2 or 4. Do the division directly. 228 can be taken as, see, split and merge, right? Apply the technique of split and merge. We want to divide 228 by 8. 228 is not 228. 228 is 160 plus 68 divided by 8. Why am I taking it as 160 plus 68? Why not 200 plus 28? Because I want a number which is divisible by 8. In fact, 200 is also divisible by 8, but 160 is easier to follow that way, right? So 228 is not 228, it is 160 plus 68. This has to be done mentally, not on paper. This is a mental observation, right? 160 plus 68 by 8. Now 160 by 8 is 20. That's done. What is left out? 68 by 8. Again, 68 is not 68. 68 is 64 plus 4. Why 64 plus 4? Why not 60 plus 8? Because I want a number which is divisible by 8. 60 is not divisible by 8. 64 is divisible by 8. So 64 by 8 is 8. What is left out? 4 by 8. 4 by 8 is 0.5. Done. So 228 by 8 will be 20 plus 8 plus 0.5, 28.5. This has to be done mentally, and let me assure you that you can do it mentally in about 3 to 4 seconds, not more than that. 3 to 4 seconds. It may take a little longer initially, but when you practice, it becomes a lot easier. So 28.5 minus the second term now, 65 into 24 by 100. Multiply 65 by 24. How much time does it take? Don't divide 24 by 100 again. 4 into, you can do that also. If you want, you can do that also, but I don't prefer that personally. Like this can be taken as 4 into 6, 4 into 25. Then 5 into 5, 5 into 13. Then you can say 13 into 6. 13 into 6 is 78, 78 by 5. Can be done, but your choice. If you're comfortable doing this, do it. Otherwise, multiply 65 with 24. No, don't consider 100 in division. Just multiply 65 with 24. How do you multiply 65 with 24? Again, split and merge. Again, do split and merge. 65 into 24. 24 is not 24. It is 20 plus 4. So 65 into 20 plus 65 into 4. What is 65 into 20? 65 into 2 is 130. So 65 into 20 will be 1300. Mental calculation. Let me repeat. It is a mental calculation, right? 65 into 2 is 130. So into 20 will be 1300. Plus in between. 65 into 4. See, 65 into 2 is 130. 65 into 4 will be 260. 65 into 4 is 260. Right? 1300 plus 260, 1560. 1300 plus 260, 1560. 1560 divided by 100. 1560 divided by 100 will be 15.6. True. 28.5 minus 15.6. Yes or no? Even this would have given the same value, right? 13 into 6. 13 into 6 is 78. 78 by 5 is 15.6. Yes or no? 78 by 5. 78 by 5 is not 78 by 5. 78 by 5 is 78 into 2 by 10. Don't divide by 5. Dividing by 5 will take a lot of time. Divide by 10, multiply by 2. That's the logic. So 7.8 into 2, 14 plus 1.6, 15.6. You'll get the same result, 15.6. Right? So 28.5 minus 15.6. Now do the subtraction. This again can be made complex. How can it be made complex? If you start doing this. 285, 156 minus. So 5 minus 6 is not possible. 7, borrow 1. 15 minus 6 is 9. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then 12.1, 12.9. If this is what you do, you know what my statement would be. You are not fit for the exam. You better don't take the exam if this is how you're going to do your calculations. 28 minus 15 is 13. Do the integer part separately and decimal part separately. 28 minus 15 is 13. 0.5 minus 0.6 is minus 0.1. 28 minus 15 is 13. 0.5 minus 0.6 is minus 0.1. 13 minus 0.1 is 12.9. That's your answer, 12.9. Please do not go by the length of the explanation. 12.9 is the answer. I am glad that many of you have got 12.9, but I am also sure that many others were not able to get it or would have done something like what we have done on the left hand side, right hand side here. Let me specify. All this is a waste of time. You should not be doing your calculation this way. You should not be putting this step also on paper. What you'll directly get is this 28.5 minus 15.6. Mentally, you should be able to get the answer as 12.9 in about 20 seconds, not more than. How to solve the given question using conventional method. Conventional method is nothing but a regular method, but let's try and do it in a smart way, right? 69, 252. Since options are not given, we have a limitation there, constraint there. We cannot be doing. You'll not be able to use smart methods like unit digit method or the digital root method. We'll just have to do a sort of division, proper division to get the answer. So what shall we do? Let's divide by 8. I think it's all about dividing 6480 with 145 or 69 or 252 or 348, right? But it's difficult to find out, is it exactly divisible by 145 or 69 or 252 or 348? So let's do it in steps, right? Should we divide by 8? I think, yeah, let's divide by 8. Don't divide by 2 and make it lengthy, right? 2 or 4 doesn't make sense. Divide by 8 directly. So 252 can be taken, 348 can also be taken. Anyway, I think we'll get 0.5 in the numerator. So let's say if you divide by 8, 6480 by 8 will be 810. Yes or no? 8 into 810, 6400 plus 80, 810. Denominator becomes 810. Now divide 252 by 8, it is 240 plus 12, right? 240 plus 12, so 31.5, 31.5, right? What have we done? We have divided 252 and 6480 both by 8. So this becomes 31.5. I have taken 252 as 240 plus 8 plus 4. So 30 plus 1 plus 0.5, right? And what we have got in the denominator is 810. Yes or no? Now what next? 31.5. In the denominator we have got 810. How do you want to divide it? 810. We can divide by 5, I think. 5 is possible, 27 is possible, 9 is possible. 9, yeah, but 9 is not dividing in here. 3 is also possible, but let's divide by 5. 5 looks better. So this is like 5 into 29. And what will this be? 5 into, so this is, in each 100, 5 goes 20 times. So in 800 will go 160 times, 162 times, right? 162, 29, 162. Yeah, just continue doing that. I think that's the way. I don't see any other common factor there. 5 goes 29 times, 5 goes 162 times. Yeah, 162. What do you want to divide with? Either divide. Yeah. What do you want to do? These are divisible. 162 is divisible by 9. What else is divisible by 9 here? 31.5 is divisible by 9, right? It is 3.5 times. So let's divide. So 162 goes how many times in 9? It goes 18 times, right? And this goes how many times in 9? 27 plus 4.5. So 3.5. Yeah? 3.5 is divisible by 9? No. 348, 180, 360, not possible. By 9 again, not possible. By 3, maybe yes, by 3. So this is 3 into 23, 3 into 6. Multiply 29 with 23. 29 with 23. So I told you, right? Both the numbers are in 20s, right? Both the numbers, you can either take 26 plus 3, 26 minus 3, which is 676 minus 9. 676 minus 9 will be 667. So this is 667. You're able to follow? 23 into 29. 23 into 29 is 667. Do it the other way also if you are confused, right? We'll get 400 plus 12 into 20 is 240. So 640 plus 27, 667. Yeah, I don't see any other way out. You just have to divide 348 by 6 maybe. So how many times? 360 minus 12. 58 times. Oh, I don't see any other way. Multiply 667 with 3.5 with 58. Here again, can we do something? Question mark finally is 667 multiplied by 3.5 multiplied by 58. Yeah, so a time consuming one, but maybe if options were given, we could have done something smartly, right? Like unit-digit method, or what is that called? The root digit method, or approximation could also, would also have been possible, but not in this case here, right? Yeah, so multiply it further. Anything else that can be done? 667 can be taken as even if you take it as 666, we'll get an approximate answer, right? If you take it as 666, there's an advantage in taking it as 666 can be taken as 2 by 3 into 1000. You understand? So far what we've done is a very accurate calculation. We have not done any approximation. But now if I want to do approximation, I can say 667 is approximately 666. And this can be taken as 2 by 3 into 1000. So what happens? What was 666 or 667 has become 2 by 3. 1000 is simple. Multiplying by 1000 is not a calculation. Then 2 by 3 you can involve with 58 or 3.5 and see what can be done. Yeah? Let me do an approximate calculation, see what happens. So I'm taking 667 as approximately 2 by 3 into 1000. So 2 by 3 into 1000 into 3.5 into 58. So maybe this is 35 and this becomes 100. 35 into 2 is 70. 70 into 58. Or further you can say, better you take it as 7. Instead of doing this, you can cancel 2 with 3.5 as 7. This 1000 remains 1000. So finally 7 into 58 into 1000 divided by 3. Seven times 58, 350 plus 56, 406. 406 by 3. 406 by 3 into 1000. Do that. Yes or no? Split and merge. 58 is not 58. 350 plus 8, so 350 plus 56. 406. 406 by 3. 406 by 3 will be 135. Approximately 135. Yeah. So 135000. Approximate answer. Let me tell you, it's an approximate calculation. So 1,35,000. 1,35,000 is the approximate answer that we have got. Now you have to look at the options and decide which is the closest possible answer there. 3 by 5 times 4 by 7 times 5 by 9 times 21 by 24 times 504. I know that 24 here goes 21 times, right? 504 is not 504. It is 480 plus 24. See, split and merge again. 504 is not 504. It's 480 plus 24. So 480 by 24 is 20. 24 by 24 is 1. 20 plus 1, 21. Right? 5 and 5 anyway gets cancelled. This 7 here goes 3 times. This 3 into 3 is 9. So finally we are left with what? 4 and 21 with a multiplication between. 4 times 21 is 84. Unfortunately, all the options are wrong. Okay, so that's the reason maybe why Pragneshri Mishra has posted this, because she couldn't find the right answer here. But 84 is the final answer. Question mark is equal to 6064. Question mark square is equal to 6064. We are supposed to find out what comes in place of the question mark here, right? Question mark is equal to what, basically. And the only challenge we have here is we are not sure if this question was posted in the simplifications. It was asked on the simplifications or approximations, because depending on that, the method has to be applied, right? Is it simplifications or approximations? Now I am sure this is a simplifications based question. Usually these kind of questions are not asked under, approximations based question, because usually this is not asked under simplification. Anyway, the best advice always is try approximation, and then you find out what the best answer is. See, simple observation will help you eliminate some of the options. I am sure answer cannot be 68 or 84 or 66 within no time. Why? 70 squared is 4,900. 80 squared is 6,400. This number 6064 is between 70 squared and 80 squared. It's more than 4900, less than 6400. So obviously the answer should be between 70 and 80. Answer somewhere should be between 70 and 80. 68 is less than 70, 66 is less than 70, 84 is more than 80. So these three are eliminated. Answer should either be option 1 or fifth option, none of this. Fifth option, none of this. But suppose fifth option also gets eliminated somehow. Number is given and gets eliminated. Don't do anything. Just mark the answer as 78. Again, moreover, I also know that the answer should be closer to 80. See, 6064 is less than 6400 definitely. It's more than 4900 definitely. This is 80 squared. This is 70 squared, right? This is question mark squared. Now, since 6064 is closer to 6400, it is closer to 6400. See, it is closer to 6400 when compared to 4900. It is much closer to 6400. Answer should be much closer to 80 when compared to 70, which means question mark here should be greater than 75. Question mark here should be greater than 75, because the moment it becomes less than 75, it becomes closer to 70. You're getting it? If it is taken as less than 75, between 70 to 85, between 70 to 80, it should be greater than 75. It should be between 75 and 80. Why am I saying this? Because if you take less than 75, it becomes closer to 70. If anything is less than 75, it is closer to 70 when compared to 80. But I know that answer should be closer to 80. So suppose there are two options. Suppose fifth option is 74. Which one will you take up? 74 will get eliminated. Why? 74 is closer to 70. It's less than 75. Answer cannot be less than 75. Answer should be more than 75. You're able to follow. So 78 that way seems to be the best answer. But then let's look at the complete solution. How do you find out the approximate answer? How do you find out the approximate answer? I mean, 78 is the most likely answer here, but let's do the approximation. So basically question mark is equal to square root of 6064, approximate square root of 6064. What do I do? The closest number that I can think of is 6400. Now 6400, this trick has been discussed in our speed math, in our approximation videos. You just have to follow that, right? Now 6400, the closest number I can think of is 6400. 6400 is 80 squared, so I'll take 80. Square root of 6400 is 80, so 80. It should be less than 80, right? So 80 minus something. What is it minus? 6400 minus 6064. Divided by 2 times of 80. That's the technique. Question mark will be equal to 80 minus something. Square root of 6400 is equal to 80. Question mark is square root of 6064. So less than 80. So less than 80 means 80 minus something. What is that minus? Difference of these two numbers divided by 2 times of the number that you have taken here. Simple. That's it. So simplify this now. 80 minus difference of these two is how much? 6400 minus 6064. It's like approximately 340, right? Approximately 340 divided by 2 into 80 is 160. This goes how many times? Roughly about 2 times. Slightly more than 2 times. I mean 2.1 I can say. So approximate answer is 77.9. Now which is the best answer here? 78 is the best answer. Option 1 is the best answer.
See, what is cube root of minus 2917? So cube root of minus 2197. It is nothing but 13. 13 cube is 2197. So what is this? Is minus 13 into cube root of minus 125 is minus 5. Correct? So minus 5 divided by, you have cube root of 27 by 512. So what is cube root of 27? Cube root of 27 is 3 and cube root of 512 is 8. So you have divided by 3 by 8, or actually it is like this, right? Minus 13 into 5 divided by 3 by 8, or you just write it as minus 13 into 5 minus 5 into 8 by 3, that is equal to 520 by 3. Option B. Very easy question.